Well, holy smokers, folks, this isn't any kind of dang jokers, okay? A stock just did the unthinkable. Yes, the unthinkable, okay? We got to talk about what just happened with this stock. What it just did, this is a massive, massive milestone this company just hit, okay? We're going to talk about why this stock just made a huge move here today. We're going to talk about my views on this stock.
What is your opinion on the next 3 to 5 years on Tattooed Chef, ticker symbol
That's
TTCF?
a very hard call. It doesn't make money, and I'm not currently recommending stocks that don't make money. Now, people would say, Jim, I got to be critical here because you recommended SoFi. What I'm saying is SoFi, they don't make money. I don't think it's going to go much lower. Now,
the rise and fall of Tattooed Chef TTCF stock. How all of us investors, including Jeremy, paid the ultimate price.
I want to get into basically explaining what is happening with Tattooed Chef stock right now that I think a lot of people don't even realize is going on. Even a lot of people that are invested in the stock, I don't even think a lot of folks that are invested in the stock know what is actually going on underlying.
Meet Kevin was right. What exactly happened at Tattooed Chef? The real reason why they failed. Why it was a cult stock that people fell in love with.
You know, and backing in a huge way and like staking my personal brand behind this stock.
Are we as common shareholders able to get anything out of the Chapter 11 bankruptcy process at the end? There were a lot of red flags and warnings that were being talked about. Now that's really proven to be a mistake to ignore them. I have concluded all of the mistakes Chef's investors have made over the past years. This will be a great learning video for me later on to reflect and decide if you want to buy your next stock. What if I told you the real reason why financial education Jeremy put his own brand behind TTCF stock is because Tattooed Chef paid him to promote the stock and their products.
I had something delicious today. I never tried this one, but I tried it today. The Huevos Rancheros Bowl. I got this one at Sam's Club about a week or two ago. Dang, that one's good. That's probably my favorite outside of the plant-based burrito bowl. The short sellers of Tattooed Chef stock, the people that want this stock to go to $0, okay? You know, you guys, even you, smash the like button, okay? I'm telling you, it's going to be such a good feeling to you.
What's the real reason behind Tattooed Chef and financial education, Jeremy? Why the chef failed? I will explain it all right after this.
How you like that? How you like that? Nah. Look at you, now look at me. Look at you.
Welcome back to the Audacious Money Witch channel, where we talk about macroeconomy, stocks, bonds, and commodity markets. If you like any of these topics, you are intelligent. That's why you're here. And you know what to do, and push my button if you like what you see in today's video. Because you're already a success, it is done when you join the Audacious Money Witch Club. This video is brought to you by my website. If you are a good boy, go to audaciousmoneywitch.square.site to add more meaning into your life. If you play your cards right and completely submit like my good boys do, then I will take you under my wing. Author of best-selling books, Goddess Cheryl. My good boys always get rewarded handsomely. You are such a good boy. You like hearing that, don't you? You want to get into the bookstore. You want it to be real. You want it to be true. You want to join the Audacious Money Witch Club, don't you?
Well, howdy there, folks, and welcome into today's video. I can't afford any fancy lighting today. I can't afford Teslas behind me because I spent all my money on, the chef, the dippity dip, okay? Yeah, I bought a lot of chef in the last 48 hours, including $18,700, $8,000, $16,000, $24,000, $9,100, and that's not even it, okay? As somebody that's a long-term investor in this company, I'm looking out several years for the stock, right? Remember they rescheduled that conference call? And you're going to be hearing about this for months to go in the future. Remember when they rescheduled that conference call? Remember when they did that? That was shady. But if it was under 1750 in January of 2024, I lose 100% of my money I put into that one here today. Like I said, if Tattooed Chef's under 1750 in January 2024, I made a big mistake, and I got bigger problems than that because I own like seven figures of the stock. So yeah, that would have been a big long waste of money there. Okay.
How did we get here? It all started at January 14, 2021, when Meet Kevin first bought $125,000 of the Tattooed Chef stock.
Why I invested $125,000 into the Tattooed Chef company, and why I might invest more.
Back then, the company has cash balance well over $200 million because they added 15 million shares. That was all good, even though they diluted shareholders, but for small cap stock, more cash is always good. Then they reported the only positive net income quarter in the recorded company history. At March 10th, the full year 2020 and fourth quarter results. The reason they had that positive net income is due to one-time tax benefit from the S Corp to a C Corp. Then Meet Kevin came out and warned his subscribers why he sold TTCF stock. What he warned us about is that Tattooed Chef hired a marketing firm to get Tattooed Chef, the brand and products, really well known in the market space. So that the people, when they go to Target, they get that emotion that ads give you. Oh, I have seen that on TV. I want to buy that. That's good. However, here comes the warning parts.
What are the learnings with what you've seen thus far?
I'm going to turn that over to Sarah.
Hello. So, with Tattoo Chef, we've had no marketing until 2021 of January. And in our first phase, we were really focusing on banner ads and just gathering the data that we need to pivot and be strategic with where we allocate our dollars for marketing. We're going to be pitching and launching in March our commercials, which will be going digitally and connected to connected TV, but right now we're just still gathering data because we want to really be specific and strategic in where we allocate our dollars.
As Sarah said on that conference calls, they haven't actually begun to advertise since January of 2021. That was really important because Tattooed Chef brand is brand new. The company has been around for 20 years, and that's because they import their veggies from Italy, and they have been doing a lot of private label products. Now they are like, hey, why are we doing all this private labeling for other people? We got the imported veggies, we got the facilities, let's make our own brand. So the Tattooed Chef brand is brand new. The concerning thing is about where potentially a lot of those sales have been coming from. This was a new brand that SPAC'd, and when a company SPACs, what happens? A company becomes very, very popular potentially for a shorter period of time because everybody's interested in the stock. Everyone was interested in specs. They were the hottest thing since sliced bread in the stock market. People love SPACs. So you get a lot of SPAC attention, stock attention. People like the stock. They buy the product in 2021. The problem is we have not yet tested this growth amongst the regular mainstream consumer in response to their ads. We had no clue how people don't invest in stocks feel about Tattooed Chef's products. Why? Because they haven't done any advertising. Great, they have got product placement. They're in Sam's Club, Costco, Target. That's great. They have got the connections to get in the stores. But the concern is that they were going to start their advertising campaign, and we have no idea if they are good at advertising.
Tattooed Chef's a super strong growth company. That's not ending anytime soon. The management team at Tattooed Chef, I have continued to be unbelievably impressed by the team that's leading that company. They have their heads on straight. They've done a phenomenal job of staying focused.
We have no clue how effective their advertising is going to be. It was completely unknown. So from March 11th, we were placing a bet on the advertising company's ability to not only spend their dollars properly, they were talking about digital ads, they were talking about connected TV ads. The biggest marketer by industry is the consumer packaged goods segment, which means these sort of companies have to spend the most on advertising over all the other businesses. So Meet Kevin realized that one reason this company had such nice growth in 2020 is because people were much richer and they were getting a lot of free advertising through SPAC World. Now they have to spend a ton of money on advertising. That's the warning that most chef investors ignored.
My saying is, there's always a bear market somewhere and some beaten down dog stocks, and it's my job to help you find those, okay? That's my saying, essentially. And the risk for me is actually bigger to the upside than the downside now. Because the stock has gone down so much and the fall has been so dramatic, I think there's a higher probability the stock pops big than goes down big, right? I'm actually looking at this one, and I think there's a bigger risk to actually the upside than the downside. And so that's why today I went ahead and started, I bought more of this stock, essentially.
Jeremy later on started a stock beef with Meet Kevin, even in the Millennial Money channel.
Finally, Meet Kevin has responded. This dates all the way back to pretty much Millennial Money the other night. Then he discloses he's a shareholder, he's selling out.
My problem with Tattooed Chef is I don't want to pay tech company multiples for a food company that's going to have to spend a fortune on advertising, and in an advertising strategy that they have not even begun yet, to sustain the growth they're projecting.
They move at a speed that is similar to a super fast growth company. This is one of the most innovative companies you will find in any industry. I don't care where you're looking, okay? Like, you can't compare them with just like other food companies or something like that. It's extremely misguided in my opinion. The song, okay? I love this song. It's so vibey, okay? Rihanna, same old mistakes, okay? And it reminds me of myself.
Jeremy is saying that if people like your food, they will come back as a repeat customer, like Pepsi. However, companies like Pepsi is the chef's huge competitor, as chef has been getting into snacks. No one knows about Tattooed Chef. Everyone knows about Pepsi. Mistake number 1. Consumer packaged goods company spends the highest marketing budgets by industry. We jumped into a new food company with untested advertising experience. They have to continue to advertise to continue to get those customers to come back. It's not like you're advertising a Tesla. Once you get in a Tesla, you don't need to see ads to know they are quick to accelerate. The thing about Tesla is that they are not even advertising. Jeremy always said Tattooed Chef is his next Tesla stock.
When it comes to Chef, this is my next Tesla stock, and I am 100% confident in that, okay? There's so many similarities I see between the Chef and Tesla Model, so it's not even funny, okay?
In this case, that's totally absurd statement. Most of Chef investors just totally ignored that fact. That's one of the fundamental reasons why TTCF stock failed. Mistake number 2 is that we believe the management said the margin will go higher as they have more product coming out. Now that I am thinking about it, that's just total BS, because with more products, the manufacturing facility needs more shelf space to organize more products. That takes more time, which costs more labor dollars to get around fulfilling orders to retailers. That's why the margin were getting lower and lower as they have more products that came out. Then the chef started to launch in different marketplaces like Sprouts Farmers Market, Kroger stores, and Amazon's Whole Food. These made great headline stories as it helps boost the stock price higher, as Jeremy's jobs to be the ultimate, quote, long-term bull for the stock. Next, they started acquisition of New Mexico food distributor and Karsten Tortilla factory for $37 million in cash. They completed acquisition of Belmont Confections in Ohio for $18 million in cash and stock. Then the stock price went down as they kept missing revenue growth rates and losing money every quarters. The management actually missed the conference calls and they were unable to finalize the financial statements before the deadline. Those are important red flags, and Jeremy was very helpful to help investors to look past those incompetency of the management.
The last thing the shorts want to be caught up into, or want investors thinking about, the last thing they want people thinking about, like myself, right, that hold the stock, they don't want us thinking about the long-term future for Tattooed Chef. They don't want us thinking about the fact that, I can't spell net income right.
Which result in everyone losing more money. As the bear market started, most of big tech, Wall Street, loves being sold off. It actually hides the true weakness of the chef as investors think. When the inflation situation dealt with, the chef will come back as the big tech. But it never happened because Wall Street liquidity that pumped into the market by the Fed will only go into Wall Street, darlings. No big money will put money into money loser stocks like the chef. This makes more retail investors sell off the chef to buy big tech like Meta and Tesla because you are supposed to be in quality in uncertain times. However, most investors fell in love with the Tattooed Chef stock and were following Jeremy's average down on our position. It's a steal deal, as he said. Gimme more.
So here comes Tattooed Chef. Double miss happens. Because of the postpone of the earnings call, you got the weak hands to sell out. Bloomberg Intelligence, right, did a whole piece recently over the summer about the plant-based food space and how much it's going to grow. And it's supposed to soar from 29 billion to 162 billion by 2030. I think those numbers are low, honestly. I think it's going to be even bigger growth than I think Bloomberg's expect. Look at this chart, okay? This shows you the expected growth of the plant-based food space over time, right? Tattooed Chef now is going to get into snacks, potentially candy. I don't know when the day is Tattooed Chef stops growing, but I can't see it in this decade. They have somebody on the team called Sarah Galletti, and she is, in my opinion, the most important person in the food industry. But the chef is trading at 425. I'm like, okay, whatever, 425. Give me a freaking 1,000 shares. I'll take 1,000 off your hands, whatever. But the chef, they love to play with that one, man.
At the end of 2022, as Jeremy reflected how much millions he had lost, he probably told Tattooed Chef, no, I am not going to promote your products and stock now, so he stopped talking about it.
You're going to learn something when you go down $3 million. Jeremy, talk about Tattooed Chef stock. Jeremy, talk about TTCF stock.
Shareholders, we're struggling out here, okay? We will reverse our losses as aggressively as anyone has ever seen, he says.
Finally, the truth about how he really feels about the chef came out of his mouth.
Now, here's how I feel about this, okay? I feel like, somebody that's had a boyfriend and that boyfriend cheated on me, and then he's like, I'm not going to cheat on you. And then he goes and cheats again. And then you're like, yeah, I'm not going to cheat on you. And you're like, okay. And he cheats on you again, okay? And this feels like one of those situations where I'm just like, come on, man. And it has this massive piece of meat here. I was like, what are we talking about here, man? In a blow to the meatless meat industry, the publicly traded food company says real meat may get added to new line of products to boost profits. What?
But that has already been too late for all of us in the sinking ship. We know Tattooed Chef spent $55 million to acquire those two facilities. Will the common shareholders get anything back after the Chapter 11? Because right now the stock is traded as the whole company is selling for $24 million and the enterprise value is at $99 million. Their total debt is at $57 million, which means they have $42 million in equity. But who still trusts Sam and Sarah at this point? And my client Teddy Eazzy's book, Wicked Pussy Perfume, it is a femdom novel and it's about money, the stock market, and stockings. Order your copy today. You are such a good boy for watching my video right till the end. Bye.